one.
Hello, everyone. Do we have any viewers here, or am I the only one? Um, okay, I thought I saw someone coming. Let's, okay. Okay, who do we have here?
Hello, good
Welcome, Madam
afternoon.
Cecilia. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Welcome.
Thank
Good
you. How are you
afternoon. How are
doing?
you, ma? Fine, ma.
I'm very okay.
Alhamdulillah. How is your day? Thank you so much for
Okay.
coming in.
Um,
Okay, we have. Good afternoon, ma. Ma, I think. Yeah. Maybe.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, ma. How is your day, ma?
Fine, thank you. How is yours?
Okay, fine. Thank you, ma. Thank you so much for joining in our session.
It's a pleasure.
All right. I think there's another person, but I don't know. Yeah. Okay, so I think we can start, right?
it's
Then
okay.
maybe the viewers. Yeah. Okay. Um, Welcome everyone, and then welcome to our Facebook Live session on promoting the role of women in peace building and community security. My name is Aisha Jiboh. I'm the legal empowerment. Oh, my name is Aisha Jiboh. I'm the legal empowerment officer for at Isawali Empowerment Initiative, and I will be your host and moderator for today's session. Hi. Sorry.
Hi.
Welcome. Welcome.
Thank
Thank you
you.
for joining in. Okay, I
Thank
was just going through the introductions. My name, of course, you know my name. So Aisha Jiboh, Legal Empowerment Officer at Isawali Empowerment Initiative. I'll be your host and moderator for today's session, which is organized by Isawali Empowerment Initiative in collaboration with Global Rights Nigeria. So let me just give you a brief intro on Isawali. We are an NGO, and then our main area of focus is young women and then children. We have three thematic areas. We have the livelihood support, we have the educational empowerment, and then we have the legal empowerment. So for
Okay.
today's session, I think we only have our speakers here. I don't know if we have any viewers. So we have three speakers who will discuss on the importance of inclusion of women in peace building and security. We will discuss the existing laws and policies and then stories from the field. We have Mrs. Fatima Musa Aliyu here, the CEO or COO, sorry, COO of Bridge Connect Africa Initiative. You're welcome, ma.
Thank you
And
very
then
much.
okay, and then we have Hauwa Shafii, the managing editor at Home Angle. Oh, did I pronounce it right? It's Home Angle, right?
Human angle.
Okay, human angle.
Yes, it's an
You're
amalgam
welcome.
of human and angle.
Okay, because I always say human angle, human angel.
Yeah, most people it's like
So
that.
human angle. And then
Thank
we
you.
have Madam Cecilia Bunkut from the Secretary of the Community Dialogue Committee in Zonkowa, Kaduna State. You're welcome, ma.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much. Thank you.
All right. To our viewers, you can leave a chat. If you have any question during the sessions, you can leave the question. After every segment, we'll have a brief Q&A where you drop your questions and then we'll answer. So we'll start with our first segment, and our speaker is Mrs. Fatima Musa Aliyu, the COO of Bridge Connect Africa Initiative. Mrs. Fatima will be speaking on unique perspectives, why women matter in peace building. She will provide us with perspectives on the importance of including women in peace building efforts. Ma, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, and good afternoon once again. Good afternoon to my
Good
fellow speakers.
afternoon, Ma.
I am honored to be part of this conversation today, and I'm happy I'll be talking about one of the things I'm passionate about. Anything women and girls, I'm there. So I'm happy to be talking
And then
about the
today, of course, I'm sorry to cut you off. Today is International Day of the Girls Child, so
rules.
we are in tune.
So I'm happy to be speaking on the role women play in peace building. So I'll say women are naturally peace lovers. We are very peaceful human beings, of course. And if you're going to check, anytime there's a conflict, there are crises, there are problems anywhere, you hardly see women being the perpetrators. I don't know if this is just me, but I think everyone here will agree with me that most of the times there are crises, serious conflicts, it's hardly women. That's to tell you how peace loving we are. So, women play crucial roles in ensuring peace anywhere, anytime, be it at family level. For example, at family level, there might be some family conflict, and maybe some people would want to cut ties and all of that. You always find that the women in the family are constantly making efforts to see that people, are coming together. But I'm just surprised how, despite this very important role of women in peace building, the world is failing to recognize women as, the importance of women in peace building, and women are hardly having the decision making opportunities, when it comes to build peace building. But I'm also glad that the United Nations Security Council is able to, um, you know, recognize the importance of women um, under the 1325 landmark. So through this, they were able to recognize the importance of women in peace building, and we have seen a lot that happened in Borno during the Boko Haram insurgency. We saw the role women play. In fact, there was a community initiative formed by women known as Kunjar Marhaba. So through this, women were making constant effort to see that they fight the insurgency there in Maiduguri. Also, in places like Kaduna, where there is serious conflict, ethno-religious crisis, a lot of women have come together through their different groups to see how they can bring about negotiations, how they can bring about peace in the community. So they play a very crucial role. Also, the likelihood of a woman educating children on past experiences is very high. Most of the time you see women who have experienced conflict like this, they don't keep it to themselves. They go ahead to educate younger generations. For what? It is not for them to act on what she is telling them. It is for them to run away or shy away from anything that will bring about conflict that will also affect them in future. So women are not just playing all of these roles. Apart from our very peaceful nature and the fact that we are very homely, women are greatly affected by conflict. So anytime there is a conflict, you see that women are very vulnerable. Um, as a result of conflict, women end up getting raped. They get sexually assaulted. They face all sorts of harassment and all of that, and every form of insecurity. And it's very easy for a woman to also lose her husband to wars. So, for these reasons, you see a lot of times women want to take the forefront, they want to take the front seat in ensuring that there is peace, anywhere that there is none. But despite all of these efforts, women are usually not considered, when it comes to peace building, probably because women are not seen to be um, I don't know. I'm not sure what the reason is. Maybe because women are considered weak and not suitable for conflict. Of course, women are not going out there to fight. Nobody is asking a woman to pick a gun, but if she can do it, why not? Nobody is asking a woman to take
Exactly.
fight. So if she can do it, of course, she should go ahead also. But then we are saying give women a front seat at the decision making. During decision making processes in peace building related issues, but it doesn't happen. So we want to see that more women are going into peace building as decision makers, not just at community or local level. So we want to see that more women are doing more of these things to ensure peace and security in our communities.
Thank you so much, Ma. And I love how you started with women as mediators. As women, we start mediating from the family level. Mothers, of course, they are always trying to mediate one conflict from another. Ma, I have one question for you. Okay, seeing the patriarchal nature of our society, especially here in the North, and our traditional system, it's male dominated. Like every traditional system, like you can Hausa, sorry, Kano, Kaduna, everywhere, it's male dominated. And these traditional leaders, they have a role to play, of course, in resolving conflict and then peace building. How do you think we can incorporate participation of women into um, those traditional societies?
So, first of all, it is important that these traditional rulers you're talking about see women as allies in progress. Like I said before, a lot of times women are not seen to amount to anything when it comes to issues like this. One thing they want to think about is, oh, who is this person? Who is she? What can she really do? I think
Exactly,
it's time
exactly.
for people like the traditional leaders or whoever it is at community level that is leading issues around peace building to give women their flowers. Look at the women at community level who are making peace building moves. Look at them, identify them, recognize them, and then work with them. So if they begin to see women as allies, as partners, I'm telling you, they'll go a long way in resolving conflict and peace
Oh,
building.
I think we've lost her. I think we've lost her. Oh, Mrs. Fatima, I think we've lost you. Okay, yeah, I think she's having network issues.
Challenge.
Uh, So do we wait a bit or should we head to the next segment?
We can move on.
All right. Okay, for our next speaker, segment two, we have Hauwa Shafii, managing editor at Human Angle, who will be speaking on existing laws, policies supporting women's inclusion, and overcoming barriers to women's participation in peace building. Hauwa, the floor is yours.
Hi, Aisha. Thank you once again for having me. I'm very glad to be contributing to this conversation. Like the previous speaker said, I feel like for all of us on this space, anything that has to do with women, girls, we're always at the forefront. So it's always great to have these conversations on platforms like this, and especially on a day that is commemorating the day of International Day of the Girl Child. Unfortunately, in Nigeria, we do not have a lot of laws that are geared specifically towards increasing higher rates of women inclusion in the country. Even though the constitution is very clear that gender related discriminations will not be accepted or tolerated, there aren't very many laws or policies that were carved in such a way that recognizes the different peculiarities or gaps that women face and that are designed so that they can be able to achieve higher rates of inclusion, especially when it comes to policy making and all of that. But we also know that it's very important to include women in peace building initiatives. A lot of the work we do at Human Angle has to do with conflicts, development, humanitarian issues, particularly across even across the African continent, but mostly in Nigeria's northeast. And one thing we have continued to see is that when women are not included in these conversations in policies around the protection and development of women and girls in conflicts affected areas, it affects the ways that help or aid is being able to reach them. And so, when you speak with a lot of girls or women in IDP camps, they could tell you that the kind of aid that they receive from authorities are not necessarily the kind of aids that they actually need. And so, they find themselves having to sell the things that they receive in order to buy the things that they actually need. Gaps like that exist because women are not being included in the decision making process. So, for example, if you're having conversations around the availability of sanitary material for women and girls, if the committee is male dominated, it means that they are not going to appreciate how critical it is that women have access to sanitary materials like that. They are going to say, oh, food is more important than sanitary materials, and so we should give more priority to food than to sanitary materials. But if you have women who are in the room when these decisions and policies are being made, it means that we're able to bring a lot more nuance to the conversation so that the kind of help that women, excuse me, the kind of help that women and girls need often gets to them. Another sort of myth that I would like to address is that women cannot be perpetrators. Of course, in all the things we have seen, men constitute the larger percentage of perpetrators, of people who inflict violence, and that is the consequence of patriarchy, right? Because we have all these centuries that have propped men up as the lead gender, as the people who have power to do all these things. So it makes sense that they would account for the larger actions of violence that are going on. But that does not necessarily mean that women do not, in on some occasions, actually inflict harm. I have spoken with women who have joined terror groups like Boko Haram, and who have said that they did not join because they were forced, but because they actually wanted to join. Of course, there are instances where women or girls are abducted and then they become radicalized, and before you know it, they become combatants, or they engage in non-physical acts of violence. But there are women who actually join because they have this full conviction in these ideological causes. So, and the reason why we're unable to understand that women are capable of that is that we do not see women as full human beings who have a mind of their own and who can actually decide whether to be good or to be evil. And this is something that a lot that's cuts across humanity, right? It doesn't matter what gender someone is if they have a propensity for violence, they are definitely going to do it. If they grow up in an environment that encourages that or that makes it possible for them to get away with things, they are most likely going to do it. So in my experience with the work that we do going to the field, we found that what alienating that narrative does is encourage a lot more women to be able to inflict these harms in their communities. So because women are seen often as docile or as harmless, it means that they are able to actually recruit members for terror groups without anybody realizing what is going on. So they are able to enter all these spaces where if people had been paying more attention, they would know that, oh, this is a problem. So silent recruitment for all these gangs or terror groups go on by women because our society does not yet realize that women have enough agency to be able to decide that they want to inflict harm. Now, moving on to the consequences of this lack of policies or legal frameworks that consciously advocate for women inclusion, there are about 3 million people who have been displaced just in Nigeria's northeast alone. We're not talking about the terrorism going on in the northwest, the religious crisis going on in the middle belt, and the terrorism slash insurgency that's also going on in the north central. By the time we aggregate the figures from all these regions, I'm sure it's going to be a lot higher than that. So in the northeast alone, there are 3 million people who have been displaced. A good number of those people are women and girls. And so when you go to IDP camps, you meet girls who are out of school, girls who have to hawk, girls who have to beg in order to get money. And what that means is that they also fall prey to security officers or camp officials who are who just do not have the kind of experience or exposure needed to handle vulnerable groups. And so you realize that there are cases of rape, there are cases of male security officials telling girls that they would give them some sort of money or food or aid if they allow them to sleep with them. And some people prefer to say it's not exactly rape, but it is because it's being based on something. It's like a girl has a right to be able to access aid, right? But the person who is administering that aid is saying that the availability of that aid is based off her giving away her body. So that's another form of rape too. A more seemingly acceptable term for it is sex for food. So, as long as we do not have women in these spaces being included when legal frameworks are being created, we will continue to have these ripple effects across all vulnerable groups where women or girls are in Nigeria.
Thank you so much, Hauwa. And then, of course, one takeaway I took from your conversation is how you said women, we are humans, of course, with an agency, and then also capable of perpetrating violence. But saying that we do not have any policy in Nigeria that will um, support women's inclusion in peace building, and then we only have like the constitution that deals with, of course, non-discrimination and what have we. And how do you think we can move forward? Because conversations are easy, but actions, it's where we are lagging. So how what actions do you think we can take to see the furtherance of participation of women in peace building? Because we can always have a conversation. We are holding a live session here. We can hold a Twitter space tomorrow, but the conversations are easy, but the actions, what do you think is the way forward?
Yeah, I think we need to start from the most basic levels, which is including women when even these conversations are made, even these online conversations. So, for example, what we're doing here, I think is excellent, having an all women panel. What that means is that the kind of interventions that all of us here are able to make are filled with nuances that come with being female in the world. And then we can include women also in meetings, in rooms where decisions are being made about us, assign certain kinds of seats to women, especially within the house, within legal houses, and trust women enough to give them leadership positions. So a lot of people say it comes with risks. I really have no idea what they mean by that, because we have a lot of mediocre men occupying really important positions. Our president is a man, and look where we are in Nigeria, where things just keep getting worse every day. So
Exactly.
yeah, people just need to open their minds more to the idea of having women in important places. So we all have to speak up. And for the few men who actually believe that it's important to include women, they also have to speak up. They have to say our names, even in spaces where we're not. Because unfortunately, people are actually more likely to take men more seriously. So if we constantly have people, and it's women who are saying we need to be included, we need to be included, it's not going to make as much progress as when there are a few men who are also saying, oh, we actually need to include women, because many times these men are those who have influential positions and can actually influence change and policies. So yeah, we just need to open our minds more to the idea of women holding substantial positions, and insisting that women should be included in conversations like this one that we're currently having, on Twitter spaces, in conferences, at conventions, at all walks of life.
Yeah. And I think the risk they usually say is like they have this notion that women need to be protected at all the time. All the time. Okay, yeah, this is very risky. She needs to be protected. She's oh, let her do it. Then if she needs the protection, she will say, I need the protection. Protect me.
Exactly.
Give her a chance. But
Exactly.
like that risk they keep saying is them trying to digress from the conversation, trying to deflect us, but give
Yeah.
us a chance. When we need the protection, when we see the risk, we are humans, we will know we are in risk. Help us, but no.
Exactly, exactly. And interestingly, the protection that they always say we need is from men that we actually need that protection, right? It is
Exactly.
those men that pose
They are
threats to us.
protecting us from themselves. So
That's
Yeah,
lovely.
yeah, right.
thank you so much, Hauwa.
Thank you.
All right, so our final speaker is Madam Cecilia Bunkot. She's secretary of
Okay.
the Community Dialogue Committee in Zonkua, Kaduna State, and then she'll be sharing insights on women-led peace building initiatives. You're welcome, ma.
Thank you very much. Um, I'm so glad to be part of this meeting and so happy. Thank you to the meeting, all of you. Truly, I want to share just little experiences as women within our
I'm
state,
sorry,
within our local.
sorry not to cut you off. Sorry, ma.
It's
Not to
okay.
cut you off,
Yes, ma'am.
can you give us a little intro on the Community Dialogue Committee and what you do, so that people will get
Okay.
an insight on what the Community Dialogue Committee is? Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much. I am a member of the Community Dialogue Committee in my state, in my local government. Community Dialogue Committee is a committee that was constituted by Global Right in 2023 at Sokoto, to be precise, in the month of May. Our major activities is to link ourselves with people who are seriously affected, especially people who are victims of crisis, peculiarly women who don't have people to stand for them. I come from a community where violence is the order of the day, where every day we are faced with crises here and there. We are faced with attacks. People are attacked in the farms, they are attacked in their homes, so on and so forth. And to be precise, we hear people say we're fighting, but truly we are not fighting. If we are fighting, who are we fighting? We do not know the people we're fighting. We only wake up and discover that we are being attacked. Whoever are those that are attacking us, we cannot see. But the truth is that it is always women who are always at the receiving end. If the husband is killed, it is the woman who is left to cater for the house. If the boy child is killed, it is still the woman who is left to mourn for her child. She mourns for the husband and mourns for the child as well. At the end of the day, she is left to take care of herself all by herself, as well as the children. So at this area of the state, it has not been easy for us, especially Southern Kaduna as a whole. Women are the key major key people who are affected. Especially, we never go to an IDP camp and see a man there. Men don't stay at IDP camps. It is only women and children. And I heard my counterpart earlier said that when they come to IDP camp, they bring food, they bring drinks, they bring soap, they bring whatever. But they tend to forget that women, we need sanitary pads. Women need sanitary pads. So in order to help the situation like that, I think women need to be key actors as far as peace building is concerned. If women are given the chance to express themselves, since they are the key people who are affected, I think they need to be given the chance to express their mind. They need to be given the chance to come in and also contribute to the peaceful building of the community so as to make things go. For instance, I want to bring out this issue where women are neglected, especially when it comes to leadership. Women are not seen. They are not given the chance. They are not given the. For instance, I want to give an example. I remember in politics, women are never given the chance. Women are not trusted with particular positions in life or in leadership. For instance, I remember during 2015 election when what is her name, who came out and contested for president. I remember the day they had the primary election, she was the person who voted herself alone. Does it mean among those who did the primary elections, that is the candidates, or what do they call it? We don't know women there. So we women need to sit up. We need to educate ourselves to learn to stand up for our female counterparts. Let's stand for one another. Let's
Exactly.
support ourselves.
Exactly.
If we don't support ourselves, I don't think we'll move anywhere. And it is
No.
because we keep supporting the men, forgetting that we also have the right, like our male counterparts have. We have that right to rule and be ruled as well, just like they do. But if we don't support ourselves, if a female stand up to vie for a position in politics, it is the same female that will pull her down. Tell her, yaza ayi azaba mace. What can a woman contribute? But a
Yeah, we
woman has
have
never
that
been put
notion
in.
that exactly.
Thank you. A woman has never been put into trial. Look at America at the moment. We have a vice president as a woman. Can that be in Nigeria? That is the question. And then apart
Honestly,
from
one
that,
thing I always okay, sorry.
is okay.
Continue, ma.
Yeah. Then besides that again, I want us to come back home and look at ourselves as mothers. We are role models. As women, we need to sit up and take the bull by the horn. If the men cannot play their role, let's play our role. I wonder why it is if a woman takes care of a child and the child grows up and remember the mother, they say yaya maza suna lura da iyaye mata ba sa lura da iyayen maza. But if we tend to look back, it is the mother who has been solely responsible for the upbringing of that child. The father is not there, he's always away doing one thing or the other and only come back later in the day. Amma in yaro ya zama mai kyau sai a ce dan uba, in ya zama mummuna kuma za a
Mm.
ce uwa ga yaro
Yeah.
ki.
Mamansa ce ba ta yi masa tarbiyya ba.
Very much no. So even women, we need to sit up. And then besides that again, women shy away. We shy away. We tend to hide ourselves. When we're given responsibilities, misali in yan taro aure an ce ke mace ki zama leader. We shy away from responsibilities. Let's learn to sit up. Let's learn to let's create awareness among ourselves so that women will sit up to their responsibilities and do what is expected of us to the growth of our community at large, and also to the growth of our homes and our children as well. I think if we do that, peace will come to stay permanently in our homes, in our communities, and even in our country at large. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, ma. Ma, please, can you give us one or two examples on your experiences in the field in peace building efforts as a community dialogue committee member?
Okay, thank you very much. I remember there was this time we had crisis at one of our villages here, Ngowokili to be precise, where a lot of women were affected. We as CDC members went to that village and then brought out women from that place. First of all, we went there, tried to make sure that they had confidence in us, had trust in us. They opened up to us first and told us their challenges. And then we were able to contribute in our own quarter by bringing them to where they can have a little relative peace. There was an IDP around us, so we were able to bring them out from the violent environment to a more secure environment. That is one. And then two, there were also cases where we had to, as CDC members, if we hear any of latest development, as in times of violence or crisis anywhere, we alert the security officers, who in turn take part or take up the case and follow up. I don't know if I've answered your question.
Yes, yes. And then Ma, I have a follow-up question. As a woman in this your peace building efforts, have you ever faced any challenges? Yeah,
Truly, as a
challenges
woman,
regards to, yes, as a woman in your peace building efforts, have you ever
thank you very
faced
much.
any challenge?
In my peace
And how were
building
you
efforts, let me
able to
bring it.
overcome that challenge? All right.
Thank you very much. I want to start from my household first. From my, it has not been easy as a woman when it comes to the house. You know, the man is seen to be the head of the house. Now, there are instances that myself as a woman, I try to bring up, give advice, chip in where it is necessary so that we can move together peacefully as a family. But sometimes you discover that the head of the house will feel you are trying to be at loggerhead with him, you're trying to claim right, or you're trying to claim position with him. That is in my house. And then when you go to the outside community, when things happen, you want to contribute your quota as a woman, you discover that people will sit up, the male counterpart will sit up. Why give ear to that woman? A bar matan nan, ya za ku yi ku saurari mace?
Ai
Things
mace
like
ce.
that. Thank you. She's a woman. And then when you are alone as a woman, the male counterpart tend to take advantage of you. Instead of helping us to meet up and fight that particular problem in front, rather they use us as, they see us as, I don't know how to put it, instead of seeing us as a source of help to them, rather they look down on us.
Mm,
And that is one of the challenges I've faced as a CDC member.
okay, thank you so much, Ma.
Fatima.
Okay, that is the last segment for our session. I want to see if we have any question. Okay, we have a comment where Regina Miracle Dogo said, very educative session. Thank you so much. The speakers are doing justice to the topic of discussion. We actually have some laws that protect the rights of women and girls, but we have a very slow justice system, which takes forever to prosecute perpetrators of violence against women and girls. I think we all know how slow Nigerian justice system is.
Very slow.
It's exactly, it's been slow. Like, I don't even know if the word slow is doing justice to our judicial system, but we know. I think, yeah, there should be better interventions, and then we have to speak of, as Hauwa earlier said, we have to speak of these conversations. We have to continue doing them. We have to call for action, and then we have to be at the table. We have to set policies. We have to be there when they are implementing the laws, the policies, and then, as Madam Cecilia also said, we women are capable of being in political positions. If the men can do it, why not? I mean, the men are the ones doing it now, and we're in a mess. Let us get women, at least maybe they can bring us out of this mess. So, in the absence of any question, yeah, I don't think we have any question. So, do any of the speakers have anything to add, or should we conclude?
I want to add something a little.
All right, ma'am.
Hello?
Yes, Mama, we can hear you.
The commenter said our legal system, especially when it comes to the female problems, they are very slow. Truly, they are very slow. Slow in the sense that even the victims tend to get tired of the whole thing
Tired.
and still
Exactly.
But if they were active in their own judgment, I think the perpetrators will be dealt with, and in the near future we won't
Exactly.
have people like that anymore.
Exactly.
So I think
Exactly.
if we can make a way where those people, that's the legal system that is supporting the female child, there's any way they
Yeah.
can hasten up their judgment, especially the
Yeah.
female. They are there to support us. They are strong ally there. They are there to stand for us. I think it
Exactly.
will go away
Exactly.
with that in Nigeria.
Exactly. Because saying our justice system is slow is not even cutting it. I don't know if there's another word slower than slow. That is our justice system.
Truly, truly. Thank you
So
so much, man.
muna buƙatar mu ga an yi swift judgment.
Kwarai.
Exactly. So thank you so much to our speakers. We really appreciate you giving us the time to come here on this session and share your thoughts with us. Thank you so much, Madam Cecilia. Thank you, Mrs. Hafsad, although she has dropped from the session. And then thank you so much, Hauwa, for your time. We really appreciate it. And hopefully, this conversation will yield to an action because, of course, as I said earlier, conversations are easy. It's the actions that we're looking forward to. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.